Hello students, this is the third day of our lecture and we are going to study the lesson that is nothing but a fourth lesson, measurement of matter from section A. So see here, before that we have studied the various laws and from that law we have understood many of the points. Now here again we are going to clear the further points. See here that points. What are the two parts of an atom? What are they made up of? Now, I have told you that atom has a structure and the structure is at the middle there is a nucleus and there are some charged particles which are revolving around the nucleus. I have told you before this. Now, we have to see which are the two parts here. We are seeing a little information about that. Now in detail we are going to see here. See, two parts of an atom are nucleus and extranuclear part. If you see the atom, it has nucleus at the middle and extranuclear part which is present around the nucleus. Now see here, the nucleus is made up of positively charged protons. Whenever you see the nucleus is made up of positively charged protons, that means at the middle there is a positively charged part and that part is nothing but a protons, and electrically neutral neutrons are present at the middle. That means which is a nucleus. In the nucleus there is a presence of protons which are positively charged and there is a presence of neutrons which are neutral, and together these protons and neutrons are called as a nucleons. The extranuclear part is made up of a negatively charged electrons. Whenever you see at the middle there is a nucleus and in nucleus there are protons and neutrons, and around that there is an extranuclear part, that means a part which is excluding the nucleus. That part is called as a extranuclear part. The extranuclear part is made up of a negatively charged electrons. That means the electrons are revolving around the nucleus, or you can say the middle part, or which revolves around the nucleus. They are revolving around the nucleus in a specific orbit. They are having their own orbit and these electrons are revolving in their own orbit. They neither jump from one orbit to the another orbit, or neither they exchange their energy from one another. The next point is atomic radius. That means radius of an atom. What does it tell us here? The size of an atom. The size of an atom is determined by its radius. That means we are going to know the size of the atom by determining its radius. That means by knowing the radius of an particular atom, we can know the size of an atom. The atomic radius of an isolated atom is defined between the nucleus of an atom and its outermost orbit. Now, if we want to determine the radius, whenever we are studying circle in the maths, what we are doing? How we are measuring the radius? We are measuring the radius from center of the circle to the circumference. Similarly here, the radius can be defined, or you can say can be taken between the nucleus, because we know that nucleus of an atom is at the center and its outermost orbit. The distance between the center and the outermost orbit is nothing but the atomic radius. So if we want to determine the atomic radius, what we want to do? We want to measure from nucleus to the outermost orbit. The atomic radius is expressed. There is some expression of this and it is expressed in nanometers. the atomic radius is expressed in nanometers. So how we say determine this? We can determine this in case of a, or you can say in units, that is called as a nanometers, which are expressed as Nm. That is nothing but N stands for nano and M stands for meter, that is nanometer. That is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter. That means 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter. So this way we can determine the radius. Here are some approximate size of the atoms. So here are some of the approximate size of the atoms are given here. The two columns we have made here. One that is of atomic radius, which we are expressing in meters, and examples of that. Now 10 raised to minus 10. Atomic radius is nothing but 10 raised to minus 10 meters. That will be, for example, hydrogen atom. It will be the radius of the hydrogen atom. Next comes 10 raised to minus 9 meter. That is the atomic radius of water molecule. Now 10 raised to minus 8. So that is the atomic radius of the hemoglobin molecule. So how we can determine the atomic radius? Atomic radius is taken from center of the atom and towards the outermost orbit. The next point we are going to study is nothing but atomic mass. That means the mass of an atom. So what is told here? See, actually atoms are extremely small particles. We know that atoms are a very small, or you can say a very tiny particles, which makes it very difficult to measure their masses accurately, as it is a very small particle, or you can say a very tiny particle. It is an undivisible particle, we know that. So it is very difficult to measure the masses accurately. As it has a very small size, we cannot measure the mass accurately. Therefore, their masses are compared on a relative scale with a reference atom. What does this sentence tells us? That if we want to determine the mass of any atom, then at that time we want to relate the mass. We want to relate the mass of that atom with the relative atom or any reference atom. It tells us like this. Thus, a reference atom is required for expressing the relative mass of an atom. So, therefore, it is a necessity to have a reference atom to get a mass of a particular atom. The next point is initially chosen reference atom. Reference atom is an atom whichever we are taking for a reference. Now, initially there is a, you can say, one reference atom, and that was taken as a hydrogen. Hydrogen was one of the reference atom to whose the atomic masses were related, which has one proton in its nucleus. That means hydrogen atomic number is 1. It has atomic, you can say, only one proton in its nucleus. In this case, the relative atomic mass of hydrogen was accepted. So whenever you see there, to find out the atomic masses, there was one reference atom taken. Here the hydrogen was taken as the reference atom because it contains only one proton in its nucleus. Now, in this case, the relative atomic mass, hydrogen, which was there, it was expected as 1. That means here the relative mass of hydrogen is 1. Therefore, the magnitude of the relative atomic mass of various atoms become equal to the atomic mass number. That is, what does this tell? See, the magnitude of what? The magnitude of the relative atomic masses of the various atoms, whichever we want to determine, becomes equal to the atomic mass number. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So therefore it becomes equal to atomic mass number. That is nothing but the sum of the number of protons and neutrons. So what it is taken actually? The sum of the number of protons and neutrons whichever are present in nucleus are taken as the atomic mass of an particular atom. The next point is, that is the third point in the atomic mass. On this scale, the relative atomic masses of elements were found to be fractional. So if we consider the reference atom as hydrogen, at that time what happened? The relative atomic masses of the many of the elements were found to be fractional. That means their answer was got to be fractional. This led to use of a different atoms as a standard. So what happened? This was impossible to know or to get the atomic mass into the fractional position. So therefore what it was done? There was another reference atom taken as a reference point. So the other reference atom used was nothing but a carbon. Carbon was used as the another reference atom here. In this case, now what happens here? In this case, the relative mass of carbon was accepted as 12. So the relative mass of the carbon was taken as 12. So what happened actually here? If the relative masses were compared to the hydrogen, then the relative masses of the elements was got or was acquired as a fractional point of view. So this was impossible to get the atomic mass in the fractional view. So therefore another atom, reference atom, was referred, and that reference atom was nothing but a carbon, and carbon was accepted as, the relative mass of carbon was accepted as 12. The relative atomic mass, now whenever we are saying the relative atomic mass of hydrogen atom is the average mass of an atom of an hydrogen. So what does it tells us? That atomic mass of an hydrogen atom is nothing but the average mass of an atom of an hydrogen. So what happened? As compared to 1/12 the mass of the carbon. That means the atomic mass of hydrogen is considered to be 1/12 that of the carbon atom, and this value is equal to 1. So in today's lecture we have seen what is atomic radius. The atomic radius tells us that it is a radius between the, you can say, middle nucleus and the extra nuclear part, that is nothing but the outer orbit of the atom, or you can say the atomic masses were also discussed. In that it was told that first reference atom was taken as hydrogen and the next reference atom was taken as a carbon, and because the hydrogen had given the fractional value of many of the elements. Thank you.